citizens, and thanks for tuning in to Nindie Nation episode 206. I'm Jeff, and it's great to be back after a couple of weeks off. We've got a short lineup this week, but if you're wanting even more Nindie Nation, be sure to check out the 2023 Top 10 video that just posted last week. Speaking of, congratulations to Random, Janos, Meow, and Nugget for winning our Game of the Year contest. And be sure to let us know what you spent the eShop credit on. For everyone else, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and come join us on Discord, because it's time to get this show on the road. These are the 5 new notable Nindies hitting the Nintendo Switch through Sunday, March 24th. And my friends, we are starting the week out right because Power of 10 is a top-down space shooter with procedurally generated levels, roguelike mechanics, and RPG elements! Developed by Pew Times 3, you take control of a starfighter set out to protect humanity against a destructive armada by both rescuing people you come across and by destroying enemy ships. As a roguelite adventure, you'll gain new weapons and abilities while stopping at shops and upgrading your ship as you progress further in each run. It looks like a fun time, and it is very well reviewed on Steam, so when it comes to the Switch on Wednesday the 20th for $11.99, it just might be worth checking out. And then on Thursday, what would you say if I told you this game was developed by someone who goes by the name Crying Psycho 666? I mean, it checks out, right? Looked him up on Twitter and he claims to be based in hell, so, I mean, if you got a shtick, might as well go all the way with it, you know? Here's the thing. Crimson is a challenging precision platformer that really brings me back to my days of playing sound shapes. That's because everything in the game moves to the beat of the music, which, again, fitting the theme here is, of course, that. So if your eyes aren't bleeding yet, and you feel your hair growing longer while your hands can't decide between holding a controller or throwing the horns, Crimson just might be for you. I know I'll be checking it out when it releases this week for $9.99. Also on Thursday, Cocoa Games releases Bad Chicken, a retro-inspired side-scrolling shmup with a bit of bullet hell and a lot of dumb humor. Whale ships make blowhole jokes. And by the way, try to say that yourself. It is really hard to enunciate whale ships make blowhole jokes. I never realized that. Whale ships make blowhole jokes, support characters yell bruh at the sight of asteroids that are shaped like chicken nuggets, the main character talks like an action movie hero, and it's all right up my alley. This one also looks pretty fun, but it only has 8 levels, and for whatever reason is $20 on Switch, but only $10 on Steam. And that one seems like a much more reasonable price. I'll probably give this Bad Chicken a spin when it goes on sale, so for now, this one's going on the wish list. And speaking of retro-inspired games with a bit of dorky humor, if you're a fan of the classic LucasArts point-and-click games, nerdy stuff, and/or cats in general, you just might be interested in Scott Whiskers in The Search for Mr. Fumbleclaw when it releases for $14.99. Nindie newcomer Fancy Factory says it best when they describe the game as
a modern, funny, and family-friendly point-and-click adventure game about cats, Star Trek, and life itself, created in the spirit of the classics of the genre.
As you set out to search for your missing cat just days before he's set to star in a legendary cat beauty contest, you'll have plenty of accessibility features at the ready, like a hotspot display and unlimited saving, and with a runtime of about 12 hours, I think it's priced just right for those of you who like to adventure by pointing and clicking. Finally this week, and also on Thursday the 21st, is a game that I expect the public freakout subreddit will be quite fond of, as Attack of the Karens releases for $4.99. And no, you don't need to speak to my manager, because we don't accept coupons. Though if you do need to speak with my manager, it just so happens that in this side-scrolling roguelike shooter, you do in fact pilot the Manager X-15. See, an evil alien pathogen has mutated 4 spoiled women and turned them into cyborgs with massive robot armies. You know, as one does. Thus, it is now up to you to track down a bunch of upgrades and fly through this 8-bit world backed by fully voiced dialogue, which I'm sure is a hoot, and ultimately take down the 4 epic Karen bosses. I love the premise. It's published by Flynn's Arcade and developed by Studio Primitive, a couple brothers based out of Utah. So hide your wives and go destroy some Karens before someone here has to call the police. Because right now, citizens, you are trespassing on the outro. And you know, I'm just sitting here trying to mind my own business, but
You and your TikToker gram tomfoolery just barge in here thinking you own the place in our neighborhood.
And Betty? You know, Betty down the street?
Yeah, she saw you doing this too, and she told the homeowners association.
So if you want any hope of not spending the night in jail once the police get here and see what you've done, you need to tell me.
if you're planning on picking up any of this week's releases, you can do it down in the comments. Please and thank you. And while you're at it, hit the like button and be sure to check out the Game of the Year video if you want even more Nindie Nation goodness. The citizens, we're all done for today. We'll be back next week for episode 207, but considering it's also looking light and an indie world has to be right around the corner, we might have a slightly different format, so be sure to subscribe and stay tuned to the latest Nindie updates. Thanks so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and sharing Nindie Nation with others. Until next week, I'm Jeff. This has been Nindie Nation episode 206, and remember, no matter what type of game you're looking for, Nindie Nation will be right here to help you find just the thing to keep your Joy-Cons synced.